Last week, Israeli troops withdrew almost completely from the Gaza Strip. The troops remain only in the territory separating the northern and central parts of the enclave. Israeli artillery and airstrikes continued throughout the region, but at a reduced intensity. Buildings and other infrastructure were damaged, with dozens of casualties every day. Humanitarian aid, including food packages and drinking water, continued to be dropped in the northern Gaza Strip. In total, more than 850 tons of various goods have been airdropped since the start of deliveries. Israeli troops also conducted a sortie on militant positions in the 𝐻𝐸𝐫 neighborhood in eastern Gaza. In fact, the fighting in the enclave finally shifted to the stage of localized raids. At the same time, IDF units conducted an operation in the area of Al-Zahra, establishing control over the settlement. The Israelis managed to reach the northern outskirts of Nuseirat, where fierce clashes broke out. Local resistance factions fought the IDF, but for obvious reasons were unable to stop the advance. However, this did not prevent them from making statements about successfully repelling the attack and destroying the enemy's armored vehicles. As for the south of the enclave, no Israeli units remained in Khan Yunis after the withdrawal of the 98th Division. Hamas regained control of the territories left behind, and municipal organizations began to resume work in the town itself. Local residents who had previously stayed in Rafah also began to return to the ruins of Khan Yunis and its satellite towns. With the beginning of the Israeli offensive in the south of the enclave, the number of refugees may increase significantly. In the West Bank, Israeli law enforcement continued police operations in various settlements. Both suspected Hamas collaborators and anti-government protesters were detained. There were also clashes with local militants who are usually able to resist only in the major cities. The heaviest exchange of fire took place in Nablus and Tulkarm, where factions staged several ambushes. Also in the region, another terrorist attack was carried out by a Palestinian militant. The terrorist shot several cars and then fled. This time, no one was killed in the attack. The situation on the Lebanese-Israeli border remained unchanged. Hezbollah again carried out strikes on IDF military bases. In turn, Israeli forces struck populated areas throughout southern Lebanon. Pro-Iranian proxies were also active, reporting the launch of several drones at targets in northern Israel. Nevertheless, everything was limited to statements, while there were no alarms or sounds of explosions near the settlements themselves. In the south, however, Iranian-backed groups conducted several attempted attacks on Eilat. Israeli anti-aircraft gunners and aviation intercepted all the drones without damage or casualties.